Talking wrestling today, and we're trying to talk about it in somewhat of a serious light because while it is clearly entertainment, it is also a sport that calls and commands incredible commitment from its athletes. Mick Foley, we were talking about him before. The things that he has done are staggering, what he has put his body through. And recently, can you tell me about exactly what he put his body through?
Well, what nobody noticed in that match in the Hell in the Cell 2, when he went through that cage, that chair smashed into his face, and when everybody thought there were boogers hanging out of his nose, those were his teeth. Went up through his mouth and through his nose. I watched them pick the thumbtacks out of his back. That man goes through everything. He is the hardcore legend, Mick Foley.
So, yeah, just to add to that, I think it's what people don't understand neither is the fact that Mick Foley wrestled in Japan and other places before he came to WWF, and that's where it is very extreme. If you want to see extreme wrestling, you go to watch Japanese wrestling, especially back in the past. That was serious, hardcore wrestling.
But you played professional football, and you were down in the pits, which is allegedly the toughest place to be. How do you compare the toughness that you see in the pits, in the CFL, with what you see in the ring 200 nights a year in the WWF?
Well, I mean, the two sports are apples and oranges. The preparation for the two sports is very, very similar. They like you more aesthetically pleasing with the wrestling. You have to be obviously appealing as far as how you look. But in football, it's just to be as big and strong as you possibly can. But as far as the wear and tear, I mean, I broke my leg, tore my posterior cruciate and my anterior cruciate in a match in Regina. And I put 11 years of football and never even had to use crutches before. So I can tell you, there is a lot of damage done. There's broken necks every year. There's broken vertebrae, as Sean with his back.
And don't you think that's the expectation of the audience? The audience demands a better show all the time, and these guys are willing to give it to them at whatever price.
Sure. Well, I mean, you have the injuries that you have in any other sport anyway. I mean, you're talking about conditioned people. They're conditioning specifically for the rigorous activities that they're going through.
But may I say that there are more injuries in wrestling than in any other sport.
Brawl for all. 3 weeks ago, they put on the boxing gloves, and there was a question whether it would take off or not. And then you had Bart Gunn and Steve Williams, Dr. Death, going at it, and it took off right there because a left hook to the head put Williams down, and all of a sudden, this kind of stuff, I think, is going to take off big time because this is letting it all hang out. This is shooting matches in the ring.
Well, this is what people don't understand is that to get to the level of being in the WWF, you have to be a tough son of a bitch, whether you're Stone Cold or anybody. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you can tell that now when they're doing a shoot boxing, when they're actually knocking people out, these guys are tough.
Didn't you start out in that, though, way back when?
Yeah, I started out in the So You Think You're Tough fights when I was young just to make money, and that was...
like how young?
17 years old.
And what was that? Just like you went in the ring and...
Went in the ring, and it was just go at it as hard as you can. They had 6-ounce gloves on, and you went at it. And you had, if you knocked the guy down, you had 5 seconds to still pummel him until submission.
What do you think, Jason? You like this?
I think it's unbelievable. It's dangerous, and I don't think I would ever step in there to do anything like that. And
that's not a huge surprise. I mean, you're not sticking in the ring. You don't anything but talk.
Actually,
let's face it.
I think you and Kane should go at it.
Yeah, you and I can bond on this.
Sure, I'll take you. I'll take you.
Okay, I'll take you on any time, actually, Brawl for All. Jason Sensation.
No, you know, I think
Open
wrestling,
invitation.
it's unique because it takes you into a fantasy realm, you know, with the sagas like continuing and whatnot. And I think when you bring in this realism, it's a little extreme in itself, the activity itself. But you know, I don't know if it's necessary. You know.
Well, I mean, it's necessary in a sense that if the people like it, they're going to do it. If the people don't like it, they won't do it. That's plain and simple.
And we should explain that Jason Sensation, a Canadian kid, right? Now, big in the WWF, doing impersonations of all those guys. How were you discovered?
Actually, to tell you the truth, Owen Hart discovered me. I was in a back room meeting wrestlers, and I started going nuts and doing impressions for Owen, and he's like, oh, that's really good, man. Why don't I take you in the back? You can meet some guys, shake their hands, and blah, blah, blah. And I hit off from there. So
right. But also, you when we had Vince McMahon on Off the Record, right? You
actually,
came in.
Yes,
and...
when I first, this was my first meeting with some of the people, but my first time meeting McMahon, where I got my first gig at WrestleMania, was at Off the Record when Vince McMahon did your show.
Oh, so all of a sudden, it's the other guy. It's Owen Hart, right? Who found you and took you in the back room,
he found
which I don't
me.
want to hear about. But It had nothing to do with Off the Record. Is that what you
No,
told me?
absolutely. Off the Record was my first big hit. It was thanks to Off the Record of Vince McMahon.
All right, we're going to take a break. And Glenn, you got a move you can show me? I've been showing them from the best.
I'll choke you out in about 4 seconds,
Okay.
brother. I'll choke you out.
We'll do that. We'll take a break, but always we want to know what you all think about the show and what you at home think about the show. You can reach us via the email. You can fax us. Please always let us know. Here's a sampling of what we got. Hey, Landsberg, I like your show. You always talk too much, though. Let the guests say a few words. You also need to get Undertaker on the show, and hopefully he tombstones you through the floor. That's not very much nice.
You just took what I was going to do. I can't do that now.
Gentleman X, Michael, I'm going to be at Skydome watching you make a fool of yourself like you do every day, except this time there will be 1,000 people watching, not just your mummy. Am I making a fool of myself? That's all no. That's what they said. There's our email address. If you got something nice to say, let us know. Either way, we're back. Kulka with his big finishing move as we finish the show on Off the Record.
When you're a champion, you've got to work night and day to...
Sunday, NASCAR roars into New York.
Name of the show is Off the Record. Welcome back as we get set to wrap it up. Thanks very much to our guest, Trish Stratus. What's up with you?
I just recently, I shot my first cover came out for Muscle Mag International, so that's sort of catapulting me, which is good. So I just finished taping a martial arts show, and I'll be co-hosting the weight training segments. That'll be out soon. And I'm doing an upcoming article in Oxygen magazine.
Right, and our thanks, by the way, to Oxygen magazine for suggesting you, and you'll be back, right? Because you're a major sports fan, not just wrestling,
Of course.
right? Who's the best hockey player on the planet right now? Just give me a name.
On the planet?
Well.
Matt Sundin. I don't know.
Okay. Glen Kulka, I know that you got a lot of fans who are waiting to see you back in the ring. When will that be?
I'm going to be back in the ring in about another 3 weeks to a month. I'll probably be back on, you'll see me back on Monday Night Raw, hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months.
I got a question for you. When you go out on a date and you're talking to your date, are you looking at the crowd doing this? Or do you look them in the eyes?
I actually
You like to play to the crowd, don't you?
I will make eye contact now and then.
And Jason, are we going to see you on Raw in the near future?
Yeah, hopefully. You'll never know when I come out or who I'll be. But I'll damn well be there because I'm the best damn nose in the business. Woo!
Let me throw some names at you and you come back. Undertaker.
Kane, Austin, I will bury you. Rest in peace.
You gave us a little stone cold before. Give us a little more now.
The bottom line is, Michael Landsberg, I know you got pissed off at me because I ripped your shirt off and showed how much of a toothpick you really are. But the bottom line is, if you want to try to shake my hand again, I'll shake it, son. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Okay, we got to take a wide shot for this one. Shake hands and make up. GTA, don't trust anybody, right? Who else? Who do you want to hear him do? Glenn?
Well, we got to go. Who else we got coming out? We got Venus coming out, so why don't you try him?
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski.
All right, Glenn, you got to show me a move. I've been shown some of the best moves in the business. What do you got?
Well, the best moves in the business, you won't be able to do another damn show if I do it, but I can just play in a full Nelson.
Good nature. You and I are friends. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Michael Landsberg's in trouble as Glen Kulka wraps him up in the full Nelson.
You know what? That's working for me.
Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful bicep. Unbelievable.
I got a question for you. Hey, you can do anything you want. Just don't take the mic. I got a question for you. When are you going to stop hiding behind Ken Shamrock and guys like that and really fight like a true announcer would? Hey, you know what? You can lay off anytime. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, we'll see you next time on TSN's Off the
Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.